Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to episode 5 of Place Further Than the Universe. I'll be honest here, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this in the pre-thoughts or probably the afterthoughts because I have a lot to record today. I have this stuff from yesterday to record, I have a movie, and I want to get another Minecraft thing recorded. Because I'm actually really enjoying doing the Minecraft stuff, plus again, as I stated when I announced I was doing it, I already play Minecraft, so it's not like it's taking more time out of my day or anything. um, but yeah, so we're back with more Place Further Than the Universe, and I'm excited to see where it goes. We're reaching about the halfway point, and we've gotten our way to Antarctica. That's like confirmed. The big thing now is just preparation. Last episode, they spent time training for it and everything, which they seem to be doing pretty well at. And so, now what? There's still a lot that I'm thinking they've got to do. And I'm still thinking that the first half is going to be this prep, while the second half is heading to Australia to get on the plane to Antarctica, or the ship, sorry, to Antarctica, and then heading to Antarctica and being in Antarctica. Like, all of that's probably going to be in the second half. And even so, like the plane ride to Australia and then the ship ride to Antarctica from Australia, that's probably going to be in the course of a single episode. Um, so yeah, there's still quite a bit they have to do to prepare, though, and I'm just wondering exactly what they're going to do to lead up to the end of the first half. I guess we'll find out, because I really have no guesses at this point. Um, it would be interesting to see, though, as if one of them had, like, any doubts or anything going forward, especially the new girl, considering, like, she's already had doubts about going in the past anyways. But it would be really interesting if it was, I cannot remember her name. I can never remember her name. The Antarctica girl. It would be really interesting if she had the doubts. Because I don't think Mari's going to have the doubts, and Hinata, I definitely don't think has any reason to have doubts at this point. So I think it would have to be one of those two. But we'll find out if that's even the case. I just don't know where this is going to go from here on out, so let's get this going and see. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Yeah, that was a damn good one. So throughout this series so far, the first 4 episodes before now, Megami was not really a background character, but a minor supporting character who didn't have a lot to her that we could see on the surface. She was, excuse me. She was Mari's close friend for presumably a long time, though we didn't really know the details of that until this episode. And they seem to be pretty close, at least from Mari's perspective. Megami always seemed not really distant per se, but almost kind of stoic and like quiet. She didn't emote as heavily as other characters in the series, and as such, she never really had a massive presence in the show. I didn't dislike her. I never disliked her as a character. It's just I never really gave her much thought. I never really figured she'd be a massive part in this. Even after everything started going ahead with the Antarctica plan, thanks to Shirase and everything else working out in the various stages as it went along. Yeah, it's just, she never really showed any kind of big emotion or any kind of real response to that. And we find out why in this episode. We find out that she had been, like, legitimately holding herself back. And this episode was massively important for her character, but also for Mari's. And not just because of Mari admitting that she had been holding herself back as well. So, in this episode, Megumi meets the other friends, Hinata and Shirase mainly. Not, I cannot remember her name, the other girl. And they go out to karaoke after a few other things. They she tells them about like these rumors going around and stuff. But they go out to karaoke, and this is we'd seen a couple signs before this in the episode. We could clearly tell from certain visual cues and even certain auditory cues that Megumi was having trouble dealing with this. That you could tell she was jealous, that she didn't want Mari to go. And they go to karaoke, and when they're there, Megumi is given the mic and she screams out, and she's letting out that frustration without telling them what's wrong, of course. But she lets out that frustration. She's able to vent. And I think that helps so that when she and Mari are having that conversation on the way home and everything, and Mari tells her that she had been holding herself back and clinging too much to Megumi, that it kind of opened Megumi's eyes, because she had vented that frustration, allowing her to see a little more clearly. So she realized that it wasn't just that Mari was holding herself back in this relationship. Megumi herself was too. She realized that she had been clinging onto this relationship as much as Mari had, that it had been unhealthy for her, that she had been trying super hard to seem intelligent, motherly, and everything, and she hadn't been living her own life. She wanted to break up as friends with Mari because she felt like she needed to get out of that situation. She needed to escape from those terrible pains she was feeling. And unlike in Steven Universe, the movie, she actually got the hug she needed. I'm not going to get over that. But in all seriousness, yeah, Mari, who was an emotional wreck at that point too, after Megumi's entire thing, after everything Megumi said, she runs up to her and hugs her and tells her, "No, I reject you. I reject your breakup," and then runs off. It's basically she tells her, "Nope, we're not breaking up. We're still friends," and then runs off before Megumi can debate with that, can argue against that, which is hilarious, but it's also really heartwarming. Because Mari admitted to Megumi that she felt that she was being held back by clinging to her, by not living her own life, by being so attached to this one person. And here's the thing, that's valid. Like, there's nothing wrong with loving certain people to a very high degree. But when you, like, focus too heavily on them to the point where it's all you think about, they're, like, the only person you really make any connection with, where it's just, like, enveloping your entire life, it's not healthy. You need to make connections with many people. You need to have bonds with many people. Being with only one and focusing on only one and basically running your life in a way that makes sure it's still connected to that person is not healthy for you. And both of them realize this, and both of them realize that they need to change that. But their ways of doing so were notably different. Mari's way of changing her life and just expanding who she's meant to be and what she's meant to do is going to Antarctica. It's expanding her friend group, doing something big in her high school years. That is what she uses to help get out of that rut she's put herself into. Megami, however, does not know how to deal with this, because Megami was in, let's be honest, Megami was in deeper than Mari was. Mari is a very outgoing, very likable, very just exuberant personality who can very easily make friends. She only hasn't had this big friend group because of being so directly connected and being so focused on Megami. But we see in this series, we've seen leading up to this episode, that she makes friends easily. She has this very magnetic personality. Megumi's the opposite, though. Megami seems very reserved. She doesn't make friends as easily. She's very quiet, she's very stoic, she's very kind of to the point, and that isn't as appealing to a lot of people. Definitely not as many. So she doesn't make friends as easily. So her friendship being so reliant, her life, her everything being so reliant on Mari was suffocating for her in a way. But she didn't realize it because she relied on it too much. It's like she was ignoring the pain it caused, which only caused her more pain in the end. And instead of trying to solve the problem by expanding things outward, by doing something big, doing something exciting, doing something new, she chooses instead to get rid of the problem. Mari never intended to get rid of Megami as a friend. No, she just wanted to do other stuff as well. She wanted to expand her horizons, and that's fine. That's great, even. But on the other hand, Megumi felt to solve the problem, she needed to get rid of the problem. She needed to get rid of the friend who she felt she was clinging too heavily to. So that's why she came there, to break up with her, so that they wouldn't be friends anymore, probably not have normal contact anymore, and just move on. I don't think she necessarily wanted to do it, which is why she was crying so heavily, which is why she was apologizing for spreading those rumors and honestly being a shit friend. She was, but at least she apologized and acknowledged it. That's why, though. She didn't want to lose Mari as a friend. She felt that she needed to. But Mari, being Mari, just runs up, hugs her, and says, "No, you're still my friend. We can move on. We can do other stuff. We can expand our horizons. But you're still my friend. I reject your breakup." And again, before Megami can say anything, Mari just runs off. She doesn't want to hear any debate. She doesn't want to hear any argument. Because to her, there is no debate. Megami is her beloved friend. She cares greatly for her. And that's all that matters to her. She doesn't want to hear anything about this. She doesn't want to hear any questions, any arguments, anything Megami would have to say in opposition to that. But at the same time, she wasn't denying Megami's feelings. That hug was an embrace of emotion, of love, of care. She wanted to tell Megami with that hug that she's there for her, that she's always going to be there for her, that they are friends and that she cares, that she's still going to move on and do other stuff and live her life and not rely so heavily on her. But they're always going to be friends, no matter what. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's great. The other girls were honestly not a focus in this. Hinata and Shirsei had some good moments, had some funny and even insightful moments. It's awesome to see Shirsei getting so mama bear protective of Mari. That's actually really adorable. And Hinata spouting wisdom, per usual, is great. But yeah, they weren't a focus. It was entirely on Mari and Megumi. And I'm glad that they did this in the way that they did. By having the first 4 episodes have Megumi in the background, knowing about all of this going on, hearing about all of these plans, this grand adventure, it builds up so that once this finally does boil over in this episode, it actually feels very natural. By having Megumi be in the background, but having her be a notable character, where it's like, oh yeah, you know who she is. And you know that she's Mari's friend, and you know with Mari going to be gone for 3 months that this is going to be a necessary thing to bring forward. This feels natural. It feels like it's something that was properly built up to, that was properly handled. And even though Mari was, again, a very minor supporting character up until this point, in this episode she was one of the 2 main characters of this one, yeah, it still doesn't feel like she's just some random characters just being forced into the front of the focus. You know what I mean? It feels like this character who we've seen, who we've heard from, who we've come to know to a smaller degree than our main characters, is actually like it's all coming to a head. Everything that had been built up is coming to a head. It felt like it was just really, really well resolved, if you know what I mean. But yeah, it was a great episode. It was really emotional. The ending with the breakup and rejection scene, rejection of the breakup scene, was excessively emotional. It got me to cry. And I just really feel like this is going to be a good thing for both of them. Both of them having admitted that they were holding themselves back for each other and are now able to move on. Without losing each other as friends, they're able to move on. Mari is going with her new friends to Antarctica, having this big adventure to expand her horizons. And I don't know what Megumi's going to do. I don't. But I think that this was very healthy, and it's going to help her. It's going to help her do something. And hell, even maybe help her open up. Maybe while Mari's gone, maybe she'll make more friends. Hell, maybe she'll become something. Like, do something. Like, maybe join the student council or something like that. What I'm saying is that she has all this possibility now. And I think that that's great. When Mari and them come back, she might be a completely different person. And that would be a really satisfying resolution to this entire story point. So, tell me in the comments below what you thought of this episode of Place Further Than the Universe, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. If you want to check out any of my social media links and more, please check them out over to the side. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. In the meantime, though, thank you so much once again for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.